The Galactic Council chambers fell silent as Ambassador Chen Wei stepped forward, her modest, diplomatic attire a stark contrast to the imposing exoskeletons and bioarmor of the assembled alien delegates. The holographic display behind her showed Earth in all its blue marble glory, delicate, serene, utterly defenseless. Warlord Kextar of the Vorthak hegemony released what could only be described as a predatory chuckle, his razor-sharp mandibles clicking together in amusement. This is the species that dares request membership in our council? Look at their world. No natural defenses, no toxic atmosphere, no radiation barriers. Their cities are built above ground like offerings to any passing predator. The other delegates murmured agreement. Admiral Zeflos, whose crystalline carapace had evolved on a world of perpetual volcanic storms, gestured dismissively with one of her forearms. Their largest land predators barely reach 2 meters. Their oceans contain creatures that flee from loud noises. How did such a fragile species even survive to develop spaceflight? Chen remained perfectly still, her expression neutral. She had expected this reaction. Humanity's application for council membership had been met with bewilderment across the galaxy. Every other spacefaring species had evolved on death worlds, planets where survival required natural weapons, armor plating, or toxic biology. Earth, by comparison, seemed like a garden paradise. Perhaps, Chen said quietly, you would like to understand how we survived long enough to reach the stars. She gestured to her aide, who activated the chamber's advanced holographic system. The peaceful image of Earth dissolved, replaced by a timeline stretching back thousands of years. This is the Battle of Thermopylae, 480 BCE. Chen began as the display showed 300 Spartan warriors facing an army of hundreds of thousands. 300 humans held a mountain pass against impossible odds for 3 days. They knew they would die. They fought anyway. Warlord Kextar scoffed. Primitive weapons, no tactical significance. Moving forward, Chen continued, her voice cutting through his objection. The display shifted to show legions marching across continents. The Roman Empire, humans fought continuously for over 800 years, perfecting tactics that would influence warfare for millennia. They built siege engines, engineered battlefield, communications, developed logistics networks to supply armies across vast distances. The timeline accelerated. Medieval castles appeared, designed to withstand months-long sieges. Knights in armor charged across battlefields while engineers built trebuchets capable of hurling massive stones hundreds of meters. Admiral Zeflos leaned forward, her interest piqued despite herself. Your species fought itself? Constantly, Chen replied without emotion. The Mongol conquests, one human empire conquered most of our known world using superior tactics and organization. The 100 Years' War, we fought for over a century over territorial disputes. The Napoleonic Wars spanned 2 decades and involved nearly every nation on our continent. The holographic display showed massive cannon bombardments, cavalry charges, soldiers marching through winter snow leaving trails of blood. But Kextar noticed something else. The precision of their formations, the complexity of their supply lines, the sophisticated communication networks. We never stopped innovating, Chen continued. The American Civil War introduced industrial-scale warfare. The World Wars brought chemical weapons, mechanized armor, strategic bombing, code-breaking, radar technology, and ultimately, the display showed a mushroom cloud rising over a devastated city. Nuclear weapons. We became capable of sterilizing our entire planet, yet we chose restraint. The chamber had gone completely silent. Even the ambient clicks and hums from various alien species had ceased. Your species weaponized the fundamental forces of reality? Whispered Counselor Vashati, whose species had evolved natural electromagnetic projection abilities, and used them against yourselves? Twice, Chen confirmed. But that was only the beginning. We developed intercontinental ballistic missiles, submarine-based nuclear deterrence, satellite-guided precision weapons. We created doctrines of mutually assured destruction, the promise that any aggressor would be utterly annihilated in retaliation. The timeline continued forward, showing proxy wars fought across multiple continents, special forces operations conducted in complete secrecy, cyber warfare capabilities that could cripple entire civilizations without firing a shot. "We have contingency plans," Chen said, her voice dropping to barely above a whisper. "For every possible conflict scenario, our military strategists study every battle we've ever fought, learning from defeats and perfecting victories. We have warrior cultures that span thousands of years of continuous refinement." Warlord Kextar's confidence was visibly shaken. His species had evolved natural weapons, certainly, but they had achieved spaceflight through cooperation with other predatory species. They had never needed to develop sophisticated military tactics because their claws and fangs had always been sufficient. "But your world appears so peaceful," Admiral Zephylos observed. Chen smiled, the first emotion she had shown during the entire presentation. "Because we learned to direct our aggression outward. Every species in this council evolved on a world that tried to kill them. We evolved on a world that tried to nurture us. So we created our own challenges. We forged ourselves in the fires of 10,000 conflicts, sharpened our minds against the most dangerous opponent in the galaxy." "Which is?" asked Counselor Vashoti. "Ourselves," Chen replied. "Every human military commander studies the tactics of our greatest generals. We learn from Sun Tzu, Alexander, Hannibal, Napoleon, Patton. We practice against opponents who know exactly how we think because they are us. We have fought ourselves for millennia, and each generation has become deadlier than the last." The display showed modern human military exercises, precision drone strikes, coordinated amphibious assaults, space-based weapons platforms, and soldiers moving with efficiency that bordered on the supernatural. "So when you ask how such a fragile species survived to reach the stars," Chen concluded, "understand this. We didn't survive our world. We conquered it. Every environmental challenge, every natural disaster, every resource scarcity, we turned into a weapon or a tactical advantage. We are not fragile. We are the universe's most successful predators, and we're predators who learned to hunt the most dangerous game of all." She paused, letting the implications sink in. "We came here seeking allies, not subjects. But make no mistake, we are not prey." The vote for Humanities Council membership was unanimous. Later, as the delegates dispersed, Warlord Kextar approached Chen privately. His razor mandibles, so threatening before, now seemed almost delicate compared to the quiet intensity in the human's eyes. "Your presentation was uneducational," he admitted. "But tell me truthfully, would your species really fight us if we threatened you?" Chen's smile was warm and genuine and absolutely terrifying. "Warlord Kextar," she said, "we've been preparing for that war since we first looked up at the stars and wondered who else might be out there. We've run simulations for every possible first contact scenario, including this one. The question isn't whether we would fight." She turned to leave, then paused at the chamber entrance. "The question is whether you're lucky enough that we've decided we'd rather be friends." As Chen disappeared into the corridor, Kextar realized he was trembling, a response his species had evolved for encountering apex predators. For the first time in his life, he understood what it meant to be prey.